A very good morning to you all, my dear students. Let's continue our chapter, the constitutional design. In previous video, I was telling you about the Constituent Assembly, and let's continue this topic with the drafting committee. In drafting committee, it was appointed on 29th August 1947, and chairman was Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, and some members were N. Gopalaswamy and Mr. Iyer, K.M. Munshi, Syed Muhammad Sadullah, and Mr. B.N. Rao was the secretary of the Constituent Assembly. And on 21st Feb 1948, it presented its first report of the draft constitution to the Constituent Assembly. The dates are very important, and now we will discuss about the time, how much time it took to complete the constitution. It was firstly enacted and adopted on 26th November 1949, when it received the assent of President of Constituent Assembly Dr. Rajendra Prasad and other members, and it was enforced on 26th January 1950. And there were discussions on 2473 amendments motions, and from 14 November 1949 to 26 November 1949 the final discussion on draft constitution was held. And now we will talk about the time period. Their assembly, it took 2 years, 11 months and 18 days in making this constitution, and out of these 114 days were devoted to discussion on different aspects. And money, how much money was spent? Around rupees 6.4 crore were spent on Constituent Assembly during this period. So it is very important to recall this question. Please, this part is very important. How much time it took? 2 years, 11 months and 18 days, and out of 114 days were devoted to discussion, and rupees were 6.4 crore crore rupees were spent on it. Okay, now we will talk about the preamble. What is preamble? It is the introduction of the constitution. It is not a part, but it is the key to the constitution. It is the introductory part of the constitution. So this is our preamble. It is the preamble of India. We the people of India. It is like a poem. We the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into sovereign, socialist, secular and democratic republic. These sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic and republic, these are important definitions also. So revise is the definition. These are very important for 1 mark question. What do you mean by sovereign? Means no interference on any affairs of internal or external affairs of any other country. Socialist means wealth is generated socially and should be shared equally by the society, and the government should regulate the censorship ownership of land and industry to reduce socio-economic inequalities. And what do you mean by secular? It means citizens have complete freedom to follow any religion. And what do you mean by democratic? It is a form of government where people enjoy equal political rights, elect their rulers, and hold them accountable. And what do you mean by republic? It means the head of the state is an elected person and not be a hereditary position. Justice means citizens cannot be discriminated on the ground of caste, religion, and gender. And liberty means freedom. It means there are no unreasonable restriction on any citizen, what they think, what they do. And equality, we all know all are equal before the law. And fraternity means all of us should behave as if we are member of the same family. Okay, now we will discuss about the institutional design. A constitution is not merely a statement of values and philosophy. It is a Indian constitution is very long and detailed document. Therefore, it needs to be amended quite regularly to keep it updated. Means if there is a situation that there should be change in the constitution, change in the law, then amendments can be made. Amendment, I told you about the amendment means a change in the law. So the creator of our constitution felt that it has to be in accordance with the people's aspiration and changes in the society, and they had not see it as a sacred, static, and unaltered law. Means laws can be changed. So they made provision to incorporate changes from time to time. They made the provision that they can change the law according to the situation, according to the welfare of the people. These changes are called constitutional amendments. So there are Article 368 of the Constitution provide for the procedure of amendment in a constitution, and some articles can be amended by simple majority vote in the parliament, but some other articles can be amended by a 2/3 majority in both the houses of the parliament. So how can we change any law? How can we make amendment? Number one, some articles can be amended by simple majority vote, but some other articles can be amended by 2/3 majority in both houses of the parliament. But still some more articles related to the election of president, executive power of the union government and the state government, and powers of Supreme Court, of high courts. This method is very difficult, and it is very difficult to amend in these laws. So we have completed this chapter. I am telling you once more about the constitution. Our constitution is a written document. It was adopted, enacted, and given to us by our Constituent Assembly on 26 November 1949, and the constitution is quite detailed. Now I am telling you very important about the constitution. It is the lengthiest one, it has 395 articles. There are 395 articles and 12 schedules, means lists in it, and it is divided into 22 parts. These are very important. Our constitution has 395 articles, 12 schedules, and it is divided into 22 parts, and it has been amended, means amendments have been done 88 times, means changes have been done 88 times. And the 84th amendment of 2000 year relates to the creations of new states of Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, and Uttaranchal, and our constitution contains 90,000 words. It is also a very important part. So that's all from my side today. Thank you and have a nice day.